on? What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's number one urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it is a great Monday. And oh my goodness, y'all. It's so much. But before I get into anything, it's so much going on. Got Chris Walker supposed to call in today, but I'm trying to get him. He didn't have time to do sound check. So we're gonna have to wing it with him today. So I wish somebody, it's just so much stuff to do, and I can't do it all by myself right now. But what we have to do this morning, let me make sure I got all my gadgets going on here. Let me make sure. But I like to always recognize my starting five, and my starting five are the five people we affectionately call the starting five because they are the first five people to sign up on the Facebook feed or YouTube feed. Y'all see them? They got me here. It's one of these mornings, man. You know I like to be on time, but everybody else don't like to do it like that. So let's go with That Is Moody, talking about the Go Fight in the Line. Todd Byerly, Mate Cora, Chris Charles, and Dale Griggs. And the sixth woman of the day is Mindy Collins. How was y'all weekend? Did anybody see the Grammys? What's up? Corey Willis said he live on the Vegas Strip. Ooh, okay. Okay. Careful out there, young man. I know it's spring breaking, but let me share a couple of things for you. It's Black Monday. They call it Black Monday because of this the Monday after the seeding goes in to the NCAA and the guys are picked to go to the tournament, and they fire coaches. And Indiana has parted ways with head coach Archie Miller. March Madness has begun. This is the 15th day of, to me, a Black History, of Black Women's History Month. Let's see. And what else? Breonna Taylor, say her name. You know, today, yesterday, it marks a year to the day that Breonna's life was stolen from us by the Louisville police. Speaking on behalf and continue to fight the justice for Breonna. We must continue to stand with her and her mom, Tamika Palmer, and her family. What's up? Who is that? What's up there? What's up, Rob? Porter. What's up, Porter? Then I got some interesting stuff. Man, it's just so much stuff to go. High school state champions. We got Beaumont United from the Houston Metroplex. We got Duncanville. Jimmy telling me Duncanville made history. So I wait till he get here to talk about that. You know that. Let me see. Did you watch the Grammys? The COVID experience last night. Did anybody watch it? What's up, Matt? Somebody called me and told me they brought P Valley to the Grammys. Whatever P Valley, I'd never seen P Valley, but they said they brought that to the Grammys. And somebody asked this question for me: do the Grammys know what WAP mean? You know, I can't wait for conservative media this week because they hadn't went in on. They're gonna probably blame the Grammys and the performance of what's the girl, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. They're gonna try to blame that on Joe Biden. But it's crazy, man. We got the announcer. I know we're gonna talk about a lot of this stuff. The announcer up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The day, y'all, I'm working to keep my sugar blood levels low, so I won't say something I might regret. Man, did you see the excuse he gave? Let me see. I'm just going through this before. I'm trying to send somebody something right quick. If y'all would just give me 1 second. Hold on. Oh, that's not it. Okay, hold up, man. These guys. I'm trying to send. Hold up. I know he's waiting on me right now. I'm trying to send something to Chris Walker. I just sent it. I hope he get it. Um, I just sent. Man, they try to talk to me while I'm on the show. Hey, hey, y'all. This is it's so unique. Wait a minute. Let me just tell you. Check your email. Check your email, man. Check your email. I don't have the phone. I don't. Y'all see what I have to do because I mean, hold up. I don't have phone number. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hold up. Can't do everything at one time. But happy Monday. What do y'all want to talk about? I mean, if y'all want to talk a little bit, I know y'all proud. A lot of y'all proud of your Beaumont. I saw a lot of Beaumont stuff. But y'all, you know what? Over the weekend, and I want y'all to help me. No, this is not multitasking. This is not multitasking. Angie Holcomb. That's not. That's if I'm on this show, don't be texting me. Okay? That's what it's called. If I'm on this show at 12 o'clock, don't text me. All right. And hold up. And expect me to text you back. I'll put it like that. What's up, Paul Miranda? I just want to know what happened over the weekend. Everybody, did you get everything that you want? You know, I don't want to get. I know we're going to talk about this high school basketball a lot. What are my upset predictions? My upset predictions for what? I haven't got into the brackets yet. Chris, I can see you. I'll bring you in a minute. I'm doing my monologue right quick, but I haven't got into the brackets yet for the NCAA. But I know it's March Madness. Chris with Walker is in the green room right now. I'm gonna bring him on in a minute. Paul Miranda saying Beaumont United got lucky. They hit a lottery twice. Yeah, but big players make big plays. That's what they told me a long time ago. Paul Miranda. It's crazy. It's big players make big plays. Terrence Arsenault. Let me mention that name just in case. You know what? I mean, let me tell you something. Something happened yesterday, and I just want to share with y'all. A friend of mine that lives in California. He texted me. Hold on, y'all. Let me this the kind of shit. I've been getting some crazy texts over the weekend, y'all. But he texted me, and I want to share this with y'all because I got something I want y'all to help me with. Okay, a little later in the show, I want everybody to be watching. But I want y'all to help me with something. He said, "What up, bro?" Wait a minute. What did he say? He's here. He said, "What's up, man? You need to check this young bull out. He is my business partner's son, and he's killing. Can you have you or your partner, Jim Hicks, at the chop shop do a write-up on him?" Me do a write-up. He needs some looks from college scouts, fam. We need to connect and play a little golf next week. Let me know how it goes. Send me the picture of the kid. So you know what I do? I text Doug and said, "Doug, who is this kid?" You know, because I don't listen. I know a lot of the kids, but I don't know all of them. Okay, I don't know all of them. So I don't know the kid. I don't. So what's so unique? I text Doug. Doug said, "Hold up." I text Doug, and Doug said, "Hold on." Doug said, let me tell you what Doug told me. I'm just showing you how this stuff, how they put me in the middle of it. Doug said, "Hatter." Hold on. I said, Doug, who is this? He said, "Kid play for so-and-so." Then I told him, he said, "Man, we talked about this dude more than anybody in the city." But I had to explain to Doug, this dude live in California. And what I did to the guy, I used Jimmy's analogy. I said, go to RCS Sports, type in the kid's name, and tell me how many write up. I haven't got a call back from that guy. So I mean, it's just stuff just crazy. But I am right now gonna bring in Chris Walker and bring him. I'm gonna assign him to this guest, and then I'm gonna bring him in. There he is. There he is. What's up, C-Walk? Let me put your name tag.
What's the word?
Let me put your name tag on there. Chris Walker is in the building. Chris Walker, you might need to take those earphones out your ear. They don't work well on this thing. But if you had your earplugs ain't gonna work well on this. So you got to figure it out.
All right, hold on.
Okay. All right. Let me get you out of there until you get right. I'll just get you off the screen. Yeah. I can't hear you though. You're not on the screen. I think Jimmy's coming in now. Yeah, your earphones don't work. You're on mute. You're on mute, Chris. Unmute yourself. Let me get Chris off. Let me bring Jimmy in. Jimmy, come up in the screen, Jimmy, a little bit. We tried to push Chris in. That's why I tell anybody who's going to be a guest on our show, it's very, very necessary to have a sound check before you come on the show. Okay? I mean, I'm just because some of y'all might be a guest sometime. Don't wear earphones. So, because a lot of y'all don't wear don't wear portable earphones. That's why I don't have mine in. I got the best, some of the best they got. So we just got to keep doing. We got to make it happen. Jimmy, did you have a guest that was unauthorized disposal call into the show? Because I see somebody trying to call in, but you got to let me know if somebody, because I'm not gonna just let them in. I mean, today is Monday, man, y'all. It's a lot of stuff going on, but it's somebody trying to call into the show, but I don't know it, so I can't let him in. So we'll send me a text and let me know what's going on with that, and then we'll go. We're gonna get it right, y'all, in a minute. Let me see. I guess Chris is back. Let me try to get him back in. Let me try to get Chris back in the show. Let's see. Chris?
TC.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
What's up,
now
TC?
You're in the building. Now you're in
What's
the
good
building.
with you?
So now, Jimmy, you can come up just a little bit because you're a little lower than me and Jimmy, me and Chris. So yeah, hey, Chris, it's Black Monday. You know the Monday, they usually some coaches get fired. Call it
One
Black
big
Monday.
one.
Huh?
One big one already.
Yeah, one big one already. So what's going on, man? Hey, man, I'm so proud of you. I know you was in the studio. I kept looking for you. They had them other guys on there, Wallace Zerbiak on. I didn't want to see them. I kept looking for you last night. And
it was different segments. It was different segments.
Oh, it was different segments. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I should have taped it. So
Yeah,
what's up,
different
man? Welcome to the Chop Shop. Jimmy got Duncanville in the background. It got in the background. He texted me this morning, said, "Put Duncanville back in the background." I got something else in the background. And Chris, what's going on, man? It's just so. Chris, the announcer in Tulsa, said he had a spike in his blood sugar. Chris, what is going? I don't know where we're gonna go today, y'all. We got so many topics. You know, March Madness is upon us. We got Johnny Jones. Hold up, check this out, Chris. Didn't Prairie View beat Texas Southern twice this season?
It's hard to beat a team 3 times. Hard to beat them 3 times now.
Oh, it's hard to beat people 3 times. So in this season, so you telling me you rather let a dude win once? Okay, I'm gonna let you win once, because if I meet you again, I'm gonna lose that third one. I don't buy into that. Chris.
Let me tell you how crazy it is. I was interviewing a coach yesterday from the mid-major level. People don't know this. Obviously, congratulations to Johnny Jones. And North Texas is going to the NCAA tournament, and people don't know this. The last team to take North Texas to the NCAA tournament was Johnny Jones. All right. And what people don't realize is it does not matter what you do. When you're in a 1-bid league, the SWAC is considered a 1-bid league. Conference USA is considered a 1-bid league. And I'm giving a shout out to Johnny Jones here. it doesn't matter what you do. Let's say you play 30 games in a year. It does not matter what you do for 30 games. The only thing that matters is what you do that weekend when you have your conference tournament. That's the only way you can get in the NCAA tournament. So it doesn't matter if Byron Smith beat him 2 times during the year. The only thing that matters is what happened this past weekend. That's it. He's going to the NCAA tournament. That's what it means to be in a league like that. And then so kudos to John. Hey, Byron Smith had a great year. He's an exceptional coach. Shout out to him what he did at PV. But unfortunately, there's 2 schools in Third Ward going to the NCAA tournament. They're going dancing. You know what? Tell a turkey leg Huck. They should be giving out free turkey legs to anybody who is a U of H or a Texas Southern that work on the staff, or they wanted the kid. They can't do the kids. It'd be a violation. But they business should spike up a little bit over there.
Third Ward. Yes, Third Ward is in that. Wow, I didn't look at it like that.
I don't know the last time that's ever happened. When is it? I mean, Jimmy may know. When's the last time that ever happened, Jimmy? When Mike Davis was there, did Houston ever go to the tournament?
Yeah, but when Mike Davis was there, U of H wasn't going.
That's what I'm saying. So at the same time, they right across the street from each other. Both of them are going dancing.
That's unbelievable. And Jim, hold up, Chris, and hold up. Right next to George Floyd Street, George Floyd Plaza, right in the. It's just unbelievable that those 2 men. I'm proud, especially for TSU, because I ain't gonna lie, I left them for dead. I left them for dead over there. I did.
Why? Now explain why. Why?
Because Prairie View, I didn't give them a shot because Prairie View was whooping them like they stole something from.
But Heather, both times they played, it was a 1 or 2 possession final.
I didn't look at the score. I just look at the win. Because that don't count to me. Memphis.
But it does. It has understanding.
So I can sit up here and talk about Memphis having a Tremont Marks threw a half-court shot. He closes his eyes.
That means you are very capable of beating University of Houston if you bring your A game.
And then the next game, the guy that a lot of y'all said can't play dead, looked like he the second coming. I don't know what's his name, Quentin Grimes, who a lot of people talking about. Well, it didn't work out that way for him, but he looking like he's saying, "Hey man, I want to be a first-round draft choice." So I mean, and he go wild on Memphis yesterday, the other day, and those 2 instances right there kept Memphis out of the tournament, Chris. And I'm sitting because we'd have had 2 quad 1 wins. That's y'all talk, Chris.
But I'm gonna help you out though, because I got a little insight on that.
Okay.
What actually happened was, and you obviously can ask Penny this. They had a lot of problems with the scheduling.
Yes.
So Wichita State, Memphis, and Houston, there were some instances where they all wanted to play at home and didn't want to play on the road. And you know who got penalized the most?
Memphis. Yes.
Memphis got penalized because they couldn't get quad wins. So in one breath, you could say Penny just sucked it up and just played wherever so he could get a win. But at the same time, you can't be mad at Penny because, like, hold on, man. I'm not going to go play all them games and the other guys aren't going to have to play any. That's crazy.
He played U of H, though. He played that game he played against U of H. It was supposed to be in Memphis. But he said, okay, I got to take that one.
I got to play it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it was between the 3 top teams that they were having issues over who was going to play where. And at the end of the day, Memphis needed it more than the other 2.
Yes. Yes.
But they were also at a disadvantage more than the other 2. So the question begs itself, should Penny just said, you know what, man, screw it. I'm just going to play wherever. But it hurt them, though.
It hurt. But I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't going to bring that up.
Being honest, that's what happened. They needed to beat Houston to give themselves a quad 1 chance.
Yes.
And the bottom line is they had 2 chances and they did not get it done.
And I agree. I totally agree. In TSU, I swear I thought I left him for dead. He asked me why. I wouldn't have never thought TSU would have won that tournament. I just wouldn't have.
Don't understand. They were picked to come. They were picked second in the conference.
No, they picked second? Second? Okay.
TSU wasn't picked 7th.
So they had a chance.
TSU were they were the 3 seed going into the tournament. Beginning of the season, Prairie View was picked They were the defending champs. They were picked to win it again. TSU was picked to come in second. It was either second or third, right there. So I mean, the range where they were in.
That's how you think. That's how you think. I didn't think that way. I just didn't.
And then they played the first game at Prairie View, goes down to the wire. They played the second game at TSU, it goes down to the wire. I mean, it's not. This shouldn't be that big of a shocker if they got them winning the game.
I'm shocked like hell.
Absolutely not.
When I saw that score, I was shocked like hell. See,
now that part is the sticker shock. It's no different than watching U of H go up 30 on Cincinnati yesterday. That's the part.
They beat them by 40 that last game.
I was at the last game when they played them.
I'm saying,
but the sticker, or them, how much they beat Memphis by?
Who?
U of H, the second time.
2.
How much they beat them by the first time?
A buzzer beater.
So remember you said a while ago, you said you would the same type of shock in regard to the chance of having to win. I say if by Memphis needing a buzzer beater, U of H needing the buzzer beater the first time, then that lets you know they was capable of playing and beating them. They were all capable of playing and beating them.
I'm talking about Memphis. I'm talking about TC. I know Memphis had a shot to beat them. I didn't think TSU.
So understand though. So hold on, tell me this. That's what I'm getting to.
Just
by the same logic of you saying Memphis had a shot to beat U of H because they lost by a buzzer beat. So why the hell would your TSU not have the same type of shot of beating Prairie View?
I just don't think of TSU like that. That they could
why?
I just couldn't think. I didn't think they could beat them. I just couldn't. I just don't.
I'm saying, but I'm trying to get the why. I understand the what.
I mean, why? Sometimes it ain't a why. I just inside, some just innate inside of me just didn't think TSU would have won this tournament. I thought Byron Smith was going to win. And that's just me. Because that's my why. Okay. Because I thought Byron Smith was going to win. Is that good enough why?
But Byron Smith got out coached then. For you to go down 20, when you in a money game and you get down that far, especially in the first half, that means your scout probably got trumped by the other person's initial scout.
Yeah,
now, we'll ask a career college coach, how long does a scout actually?
They just play better. I mean, listen, I don't want to besmirch any one of these guys. They played. Byron Smith had a great year, but only one team going to end their season with a win. That's who wins with NIT. And who wins the national championship. And Johnny Jones is a good coach, man. It was going to eventually happen. PV had a nice run, and it came down to Jimmy said, the money game. And at the end, and those guys, TSU just jumped on them dudes, man. And it was like shock and awe, and they just couldn't come back. I mean, it was nothing Byron Smith can do. Byron Smith probably the best player in his whole program. Like, it's not, he couldn't get out on the floor, and it just what happened. But here's my thing, guys. Give credit to Johnny Jones because he had big shoes to fill behind Mike Davis, who had a little niche there. And to be honest, Johnny Jones did it with transfers as well. He had a little niche. Johnny Jones had big shoes to fill, and he came and got it done. And here's my thing. I'm still mad that they fired Johnny Jones at LSU behind that Ben Simmons stuff. So, and I think
that's right. That's right.
I think he got a raw deal. So I'm more in defense of that. Is let's get this dude, let's Jimmy say, give him his flowers. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you how crazy this thing was. Yesterday, they were talking about Wichita State not getting in the tournament. I'm like, what? Yeah. They were talking. I mean, think about Wichita State got in and Louisville didn't get in. They still talking about trying to put Duke in there, trying to find a way to put Duke in the tournament. So the fact that Johnny Jones got in is a great thing, man. Like, let's just shout out TSU and not chop up PV.
Okay. I said, I was shocked.
And that's it was definitely not an effort to chop a PV. PV they still, no matter what, they're the 3-time SWAC champions. So they won the SWAC. Just so this happens to be one of the few conferences, whereas winning your conference isn't enough. You must win your conference tournament. And that's the thing, the prerequisite. Now, as a college coach, Chris, and you in the business, is that automatic, or does the conference, doesn't they have the option to determine if they want to send their conference
Nah, it's
tournament?
automatic. Now,
It's automatic.
that's one of my bone of contentions with the way this thing is done. Like, if you win your conference, if you go to 18 games or 20 games and you win the league, don't you think you should play for March Madness? Like, it's a shame that you got to play 20 games, right? And then you got to play in the playoffs against the same teams. And, games is like, games are about style. It's like fights. Like, you could fight one guy and whip him, and then fight another guy that's probably not like who's that one boy that got beat up by Maldonado that Floyd Mayweather handled? Remember Adrian Broner? Like, he just whooped up Adrian Broner, but he couldn't handle Floyd Mayweather. So my thing is, sometimes games it's like fights. It's about styles. So you can be in your conference tournament and you could play the wrong team and lose, and you could have gone 18-2, and your 2 losses could have been against that team that you met in the tournament. But that doesn't mean you're not the best team. If I'm a league, think about this, and I'm not saying it's about, obviously it's about range. If your top 4 teams go, that's fine. But if I'm a league, I wouldn't want my 9th seed going. I wouldn't want my 12th seed going. I want somebody that's best representative of my league. And they could have had a bad day because it's a 1-game tournament, guys. It's a 1-game tournament. And when it gets to that, the Bucks, they weren't the best team in the NFC. But guess what? In a 1-game tournament, it ain't like the NBA playoffs where you got to beat LeBron in 7 games.
They wasn't the what?
One game.
So Jimmy, but Chris, that's the way the system. So you saying change the system? So you saying football?
It used to be the other way. No, guys, before conference tournaments, if you got to realize before the NCAA tournament changes rules to go from 32 to 64, only the conference champion went to the NCAA tournament. So there are a lot of years that a lot of guys can't say they went to the NCAA tournament because they didn't do at-large bids. So if you were in the Southwest Conference and you didn't win the conference, you might not have gone to the NCAA tournament. There are a lot of good teams back then that did play in the NCAA tournament that went to the NIT. So for money purposes, they created conference tournaments. And that gave the Cinderellas, that's where the Cinderella terms came from. So now, even if you finish as a 12th team, you feel like you got a shot.
That's compelling, I think. Just up until a couple of years ago, Chris, I'm glad you said that. A couple of years ago, the Ivy League, center yourself in the screen, Chris. There you go. The Ivy League used to, whoever the conference champion is, they just started having a conference just 2 or 3 years ago. Soon as Robert,
you know why they did that, Hatter?
Why?
You know why they did that?
Why?
Because think about it. And Hatter, you know about the Ivy League. Who dominated the Ivy League for years? First it was Penn. Then it was Princeton. Colgate's been doing it as of late.
No, Colgate's not in that league.
I'm not Colgate. I'm sorry, not Colgate. I'm Colgate.
Columbia.
Team that's winning. Not Columbia. Who's
Yale been winning. Yale been winning.
Yale.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is those guys. I'm thinking about. I had Colgate on.
Don't worry about it.
But what's happened, because I was thinking about the different school. But what I'm saying is what's happened is they figured out there are other schools that have advantages that Cornell don't have. Now Cornell had their run.
Yeah, they had a run. Yeah.
So what happens is in that league, they're like, we gotta make this a little bit more equitable. So and they did it because of academic purposes.
Yeah.
And the other reason is that we're different than everybody else.
Right.
But they want to be a part of the pageantry of March Madness. So guess what? It's cool to have a conference tournament. But Chris, it hurts the conference champion.
But Chris, they had a 14, just the top 4 teams play. They didn't let everybody play.
But here's the deal. That's what everybody should do, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because you want your best teams to go. Why would you want your 12th team going?
So you saying guys like Villanova wouldn't have had that chance that a long time ago with Ed Pinckney them because they wasn't a higher seed to get in there.
So they weren't a low seed. They were 8th seed.
Okay, but just leave those guys out. No, the Cinderella story is nice, Chris. I think it's nice.
Cinderella is still an 8th seed, man. Like that was the biggest. I mean, that was a big time upset when they beat. How about this? I was saying on the show the other day. Who would ever think they would say Georgetown was a Cinderella? Georgetown finished like what 10th in the league, man.
This year?
Yes. Like I wouldn't say 10th, but right around 9th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, and they won the conference championship. So, and again, he earned it. But man, Pat Ewing was on the. They was talking about him being a little trouble, a little hot water. Just being
Shaka Smart.
Another one. And you know what I love about the Shaka Smart thing? I said this, and Jimmy can attest to this and maybe piggyback on it. They've had, I don't know exactly all the guys, but they've had a lot of guys that have come from the program and taken one and done, come and leave. And the two guys that got it done for them were Jericho Sims had 21 and 14, his career high. Matt Coleman had 30.
4-year guy.
Jace Febreze was another senior. Andrew Jones was another senior. And I'm not chopping this kid up, but Greg Brown had 0 points and played 6 minutes in the championship. Guess this. Guess what, guys? And we had Shock on the show yesterday. Do you know how many Big 12 tournament championships Texas has won in the Big 12?
None.
0. Shaka Smart won the first one. And they did it with upperclassmen.
Yes.
So what are you saying, Chris? Because you stayed 4 years.
I mean, back then you had to stay 4 years. It was Alonzo Mourning stayed 4 years. Mm-hmm. So it was different back then. What I'm saying is, look at what's happened at Duke. Look what's happened at Kentucky. It's hard to win with young guys, particularly during this COVID time when you can't bond with those younger players. You can't bond. Even at think about it. Even at Auburn, they got the kid who's the little guard, Jimmy, the EYBL kid from Georgia.
That's Sharif Cooper.
That dude projected top 20 pick. He goes out 3 games. They win all 3 games without him. I'm just telling you, man. College basketball is not the league. In the league, the Lakers can't win without Anthony Davis.
Right.
But in college, you can win without people. You can win without dudes. And also, I want to give a shout out to Jacob Young, because Jacob Young left Texas, went to Rutgers, and Steve Peichel said on the show yesterday, who I played against at UConn, who's the head coach at Rutgers, that Jacob Young is the best on-ball defender in the country. That's what he said about him yesterday. And we all know Jacob Young for that trigger that he got, that quick trigger and shooting the balls. And we always say shooting up all the balls, but he said Jacob Young has developed into a great defender. And I thought that was a great compliment to Jacob Young yesterday.
Wow.
And want to remind you, of course, I wanted to give and going back, I want to add in that TSU was indeed projected in the preseason by the conference coaches to finish first in the SWAC, and Johnny Jones gets the big win to propel TSU into the big dance. They were playing the first 4 in against Mount St. Mary's.
They can win that game. Yes, they can win that game.
They can win that game. That's a winnable game for TSU. Right?
They can definitely
and one of the things I realized and see, here's a part, and you mentioned we were talking about Prairie View, and I just want to that way give some pump to the SWAC. This is the point. A lot of grassroots coaches, parents out there, this is a prime opportunity for you to go and click on rosters of a school like a Prairie View and a TSU of alike. Look at the roster and understand the backcourt for most of the season. The starting backcourt for most of this season was Jeremiah Gambrell, right, and Cameron Mack. Cam Mack started at Nebraska a year ago. Cam Mack had to leave. It was by force. It wasn't by choice. He had to go from Nebraska. It happens in college basketball. Look at remember last year the time I went to the game and I came back when TSU played. Chris, I'm gonna tell you this right. You probably wasn't aware of this. Last season during the COVID, before the COVID kicked in, TSU made it to the semifinals last year. Then the season stopped. But I went to watch TSU and PV and Prairie View. I had the little roster form, sold out game. You get a little time during timeouts and TV timeouts, 4 minutes. I'm reading the roster thing, and it's telling everybody the height, last school attended, hometown. And both schools had nearly 24 combined transfers. Prairie View and TSU in that particular game. And people, and think about it, those are division transfers. 22, 23-year-olds. And you're saying in your mind, like you're looking at these schools, I think it's so much out of lack of preventive embarrassment for some people saying, well, oh man, he might could play it. He could go, maybe if they don't work out right, we maybe TSU, maybe Prairie View. No, you can't go and play at TSU and Prairie View if for most high school students.
Jimmy,
You
let me
cannot.
tell you the crazy.
I didn't get
No, you
no
cannot.
burn.
Not anymore. But let me tell you the crazy thing. And again, obviously, I left Texas to go to Villanova, which, and a lot of kids leave. This is what I'm trying to make people understand. The league, if you don't play in the Power 6 leagues, right? Obviously the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC, those leagues like that, the Big 10, and the Pac-12 and the Big East. They're the Power 6 in basketball. They get multiple bids, like 4 or 5 bids. And you play in the AAC, which is a 2-bid league, where Houston is. You play in the Mountain West is a 2-bid league, and the WCC because of BYU. Those are 2-bid leagues. If you play in any other league, and maybe the Atlantic 10, right? It was right there. That was good right there. And in some of those years, if you take those other 4 on the other side, those other 5 on the other side, we call them the other 5, the Power 6 and the other 5. They could be 1-bid leagues at any time. Missouri Valley definitely could be a 1-bid league. If you play in any other league, right? Those are 1-bid leagues, the Big West, the Big South, the Sun Belt, Conference USA. There is no different than playing at TSU. Because the only teams that are going to the NCAA tournament are the teams that win their conference tournament. So you fooling yourself when you go play at some of these other schools. When you go to the Sun Belt, I'm not trying to diss these other schools. It's the reality of it. You're thinking you're doing something better. I don't want to go play at Prairie View. Bruh, playing at Prairie View is the same as playing at this school right here. They're not getting, and people don't tell it. They don't say it to you like that. So now you can have a different conversation. Hey, man, why not just go play for instead of going to a PWI, won't you go play for HBCU? You're in the same situation. But for some reason, they think that, if I go play here, it's better than playing at Jackson State. No, it's not. That's not true. Now, yeah, playing at Nebraska is, yes. If you're talking about, playing in a multiple bid league where you can get 8 or 9 teams in a league and you don't have to be great. But don't tell me that playing at, and I don't want to, dog any schools, but, Stephen F. Austin, 1-bid league. You can go to Texas Southern, you can go to Stephen F. Austin. I would even say not even Stephen F. Austin, but Northwestern State. You got a better chance of having a better college career than playing at Prairie View than playing at Northwestern State. But kids will choose Northwestern State every time over Prairie View and 2 times on Tuesday. Right or wrong, Jimmy?
And why is that?
Perception. But guys like Byron Smith and Johnny Jones can change that. But here's the other thing. And Mike Davis proved this. They don't even want those guys. Because you know what? They say if you go to Northwestern State, you're not even good enough to play here because we just got to transfer from A&M. We just got to transfer from USC that want to come home. We won't even take y'all. So it don't even matter if you guys think that Texas Southern ain't good enough for you. You're not good enough for Texas Southern.
And what they are doing right now, as you see, TSU and Prairie View alike, past staffs, right, at both schools may have got burnt out and got frustrated because they felt, like a lot of these kids, you're trying to get them at the beginning. You don't get them, they go off to other places, but then you're getting them on the rebound. And they now, you see, not to saying everybody else didn't took that stance, but Byron Smith, he has no problem. He watching you. He has no problem getting you on the rebound. He's not gonna be bitter. He's not mad because you don't want Johnny Jones ain't got no problem with it. No problem with it because they see that portal. They know it. Kids want to come back home.
Portal real. That portal is real now.
Chris, I was looking at some, and I meant to tell you about it earlier when you were talking about Wichita State. They were the last team into the tournament, right?
One of the last teams.
One of the last.
Because they play in the play-in games.
No, but I'm talking about when I listened to the show the other day, they said that was that last team. And guess what, Chris? What if the Ivy League had their bid, they don't get in?
Possibly, yeah. I got some paperwork. I'm gonna see if I can find. They got the order of the teams that got in last.
Yeah. Show it to me. Find it for me.
Find it for me. They gave me the old paperwork of who actually got in last. I don't know if it was Wichita State, but I'm gonna find it. I want to make sure I find it.
That's all right. But Joe, Joe Lunardi, tell me, did y'all talk about this on your show, Chris? The Joe Lunardi, you know, the bracketologist, he said something key about Oklahoma State. He said Oklahoma State beat West Virginia twice during the season. And West Virginia had a higher seed than Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
How can that happen?
And Oklahoma State played in the Big 12 championship, and Oklahoma State beat Baylor, and Oklahoma State has probably the number one pick in the draft. But they got two.
That don't matter, Jim. Number one pick in the draft. What the hell?
How they find a way to chip at your resume.
Oh, okay.
They got two bad losses against TCU.
Okay.
But Oklahoma State's the hottest team in the country before they lost to Texas. They were the hottest team in the country. So Mike Boynton has done an unbelievable job. And to me, you know, from Terrence Johnson to Isaac Brown to Dennis Gates at Cleveland State to Mike Boynton, it just goes to show you what these African American coaches can do, given a chance. You got to give them a chance. And my thing is, it had a gate closers or gatekeepers, gate openers. Just give them a chance. And give them a chance where they can be successful, not where they got to go move heaven and earth to get a job done. Because I'm telling you, that Cleveland State job, they had a lot of people go there, crash and burn. Dennis Gates got it done, right? Prairie View, Byron Rim was there before, but look what Byron Smith has done, right? Mm-hmm. Look what Johnny Jones had to follow, and look what he's done. So what I'm saying is, Terrence Johnson. I mean, he came in. You understand, to be an interim coach to get the job, and you got a staff that don't know if you're going to be a coach. You got players and families and AAU coaches don't know you're going to be the coach, and you go in there and win the league. Man, people don't understand. These guys are talented people.
So hold up, Jimmy.
Given a chance.
Chris, it seemed like the black coaches all got to be the super black coach to give a chance.
It is what it is. It is what it is, Hatter. You're right.
The super black coach.
Some people can be Batman. Some people got to be Superman. Batman was a rich dude that was smart, right?
Yeah.
He was known as the greatest detective.
Yeah.
Superman is known as the most powerful being on the earth, right?
Yeah.
So the other people get to be the greatest detective that's super rich.
Right.
We got to be faster than speeding bullet, more powerful than locomotive, and able to lead. That's what we got to do.
Tall buildings as a single barrel.
Yeah, we got to. That's what it is.
Let me see. I didn't know this, Chris. Did you know this? That was the first time the two black head coaches were in the Big 12 finals. Played against each other.
Definitely. I know that for sure. Absolutely.
I didn't know that. And
yeah,
hold
absolutely.
up. And then I got some numbers for you, Jimmy. Black assistants coaches make up 50% of the coaching pool. Black assistants make up 50% of the coaching pool. But when you get to the head coaches, it dwindles down to 15%. So a lot of people just don't. I mean, I look at those numbers the day last night, and I said, "Wow, these guys." Juwan Howard. I'm looking at Juwan Howard. I'm looking at Pat Ewing winning the championship on the same day back in history that John Thompson was given the job at Georgetown. And he won that championship on the same day after being Jimmy. A few days earlier, they would asking him where was his credentials at, and he was at the Madison Square Garden, and he told him, look up at the damn rafters. That my credentials. So, Chris, I mean, it's just, what do you think about? So, black, what can we do? Just keep plugging at it.
You don't want to hear that answer. The viewers are, because Jimmy already know the answer. They don't want to hear it. So think about what happened at Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. Right? Think about what happened.
What happened?
Cade Cunningham is the number one player in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where does the number one player in the country usually go to school? Kentucky, Duke, mm-hmm. Carolina. Mm-hmm. So a family said, we're going to, now forget about how it was done. We're going to send them to this guy right here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And look what just happened.
Yes.
Now, imagine if other AAU coaches who are of color, people of color, said, you know what? I want Mike Boynton. Can I get a witness, Jimmy? But we're not going to do that, guys. We're not going to do that. When Johnny Jones was the head coach at LSU, we're going to send all our guys to Johnny. Because here's the other issue you deal with. It's just reality. It's not, pointing fingers here and there.
No.
There are black coaches that work for other coaches that are not black. And you know what they'll say? Oh man, that's not important. You don't have to do that until they what? Become a head coach. And then all of a sudden, what is important now? Now you got to send them to what? A black coach. So it's a tough situation and just because a guy's a black coach don't mean you send them to him. I'm sorry.
Right.
That shouldn't be the reason.
Good point.
That shouldn't be the reason. But at the same time, maybe Dave Lato is in a different situation at DePaul if everybody said we want to see Dave Lato be successful.
Yeah, but understand, Coach. You say Chris. You say it's not important, but here's the deal: why it is important for you to get to and reach that plateau. That means a certain level of success was attained for you to get a promotion in the sense of getting a head job. Just like the grassroots coach that becomes the assistant college coach, just like the high school coach that becomes the assistant college coach. Well, there's layers, and then you move up. Well, here's why it is important. As you move up, the relationships that you attained and you cultivated as you climb that ladder, those are at some point are expected. Those are investments for the most part when it comes to your job and an advancement of your career. That's a business relationship. And some of them are personal to a certain at some point in time. But it's a business relationship. And it becomes, and you expect a return on the investment, meaning that's why certain guys, you remember, think back, you were the head coach at Texas Tech University, Big 12. You were interim head coach, and you were this close to getting the permanent gig. This close. Tubby Smith name fell out the Raptors. One of them things. Let's take the name. And they want to take. So here's what happened. When you coming in, that was a high school coach in the state of Texas at the time. That was a prominent high school coach. And it was known one of his players was rumored to come to Texas Tech. It was rumored that particular player from out of DFW, he was an All-American. He's coming now. High school coach, you may bring him on and hire him. But if that high school coach came, guess what? You know what that meant. What did it mean? And describe what that potentially meant for the floodgates of the potential of all of his allies. That means guys that has grassroots programs that have came and got his kids. If he's becoming an assistant coach in college, he's going to expect them to steer some of those kids back to him and do him a solid. That's how relationships work in this business. That's why it's important for black coaches when they become head coach. You tip. Now, everybody ain't going to do it, but whatever your talent, your allies are, you expect that to be done. We got Chris on mute.
Chris, you muted yourself.
What would have happened was, and what I envisioned back then is that would have happened. Like Chris Beard, I worked with him. He's done a great job. But what he's doing right now, again, not to demean it, if that would have all worked out, that what I envisioned would be happening back then would have already happened already, because we would have got the talent level. You got to realize this, guys. Again, and coaches get upset. I'm dealing with a couple of guys right now who are trying to get jobs. And you have to explain to them, like, hey, man, let me tell you something. I want you to look at the NBA finals. Tell me the upsets. Tell me the teams that make it you didn't think would make it. You know who makes it? LeBron makes it. You know who makes it? Kawhi makes it. You know why they make it? Because they're the best. That's why they make it. Well, let's look at college. You look at certain guys' programs that are successful. You know that, yeah, there are some upsets in here and there. There's some Cinderellas here and there. But you know what it is? There's a whole lot of teams with a whole lot of talent. So at the end of the day, whoever has the most talent has the best chance. This is not a donkey race. This is a Clydesdale race. You can clean that donkey up. You can train that donkey all you want. And you can say this donkey can carry a building on top of it. You know what? But we're running a race. We're not running a race that says, hey, who can carry the most stuff? So when you have a lot of talent like Johnny Jones they have talent. They have talent at those schools. Yeah, it didn't work out for Jeremiah Gambrell at Western Kentucky. That's true. But guess what? You come down to Prairie View, he's a pretty good player. And we don't know how this thing all works out, because sometimes kids choose the wrong schools for the wrong reasons. and they got to pivot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what college basketball is today. College basketball is about pivoting. You can think whatever you want. It's okay to, you know who's, and Hatter will laugh at this, but this is true. You see what Deshaun Watson is doing right now? You see what James Harden did? You see what LeBron does, moving around and winning championships, and Kawhi? That's the culture of these kids right now, guys. They see their heroes going, man, it's okay to move around. And you know what? I used to be anti-move around guy, but I'm like, hold on. I've been a coach. If I can get a better job and move around, why can't the kid? Oh, he's not Jordan because Jordan stayed at one place in Magic. Hey, man, we're not living in the 80s and the 70s no more. It's a different. These kids are different. And guess what? They move around until they figure it out, Hatter. That's what they're going to do. They're going to move around until they figure it out. And you either going to be a coach that embrace it, or guess what? You're going to be out the door, and they're going to get a young coach in there. They're going to get a coach that understands it, how to understand it and navigate that terrain, and they're going to be successful. You know what TSU and Prairie View understood? Listen, man, we can't get Tremont Mark out of high school. But if Tremont Mark unhappy one day, which I don't think he will be, and I think he'll play in the league possibly, he could be at Prairie View or TSU. So that's their recruiting focus. That's their angle. It's not trying to get Tremont Mark out of high school. It's like, hey, man, one day, if, you know, think about a kid like Jordan Gillum, who went off to UC Riverside. Mm-hmm. Came back home.
At TSU.
He came back home. And look what they're doing.
And Texas A&M.
If you're Jordan Gillum right now, you at Riverside, away from home, right? In the Valley in LA. Would you rather be there, or would you rather be where your parents can see you play and you getting an education in the city of Houston where most of the alums are going to be people that you probably can work for one day because there's so many TSU alums in Houston, and you still get to go to the NCAA tournament? Which one would you rather have? I don't understand. I get it where people are coming from. They all not going to play in the NBA. That's what they don't get. You know what? That's the elephant in the room, Hatter, that they don't want to get. And Hatter, you know this because you've coached you've been around pros. Do you know how many guys that thought they were Charles Woodson that Hatter knows? Do you know how many guys that thought that they were
Penny Hardaway, Penny,
the
Michael Red? Yeah,
Michael. You know how many people they thought that they were them guys? That how many casualties on the road? You know what I mean? And how many dead bodies are out there buried? And they'll never come forward now.
But you know what the unique thing, Chris? And I'm glad you brought this up. Because a month ago, I think, I don't know how much traction I got, but I felt some people just didn't understand. You just said the same thing, right? I said, what if the high school coach and the summer coach realized how much power that they had? Around the country, not just in Houston now. The high school coach and the summer coach, they had the power to put a guy like Leonard Hamilton, Penny Hardaway, and Mike Boyden, one of those guys, in the Final Four every year. The power. I didn't say they was going to do it because I know, everybody, because too many people, well, I ain't going to do that. I said they have the power to do it. And you sit up here and said the same exact thing that I said a couple of weeks ago. And I'm glad, and I know you didn't watch the show. So I'm just glad that you came back and confirmed exactly the power that we have. And I tell the people, the parents, when you had the power on your recruiting trip. After that, once he signed, you don't have, unless you're going to transfer. Thank God for the transfer portal. So
they just passed a rule in the ACC where you can transfer in conference now.
I saw
That's
that.
huge.
I saw that.
I'm going to piggyback real quick. I just want to jump in there and let you finish. When we talk about Raphael Warnock and what just happened in Georgia, right? How did he win? How did Biden win? So if you're telling me that we can do that on that side of the spectrum, how is it that we can't make a coach when we got all the talent in our communities? We can't make a coach successful. I got all the respect in the world for John Calipari, right? All the respect in the world. But the Houston Rockets don't care if you play for John Calipari or John Boogaloo. If you are a talented player, they coming to recruit you. The question is, who do you want to see be successful? That's what it comes down to. And you know us, Hatter. We rather see certain people driving that Mercedes-Benz than Robert Hatter. Because somebody gonna drive it, Jimmy.
Somebody go drive it.
We rather see certain people get that $1 million bonus than Jimmy Hicks. Because somebody gonna get that bonus.
Man, there's people actually out here don't want to see us get them. I always want to see people win. But it's people out here don't want to see people win. And they know who they are. And some of them watching this show. They don't want to see people win. I mean, it's unbelievable to me, man. It just, I just never thought of, I put it like this. I wasn't raised that way. And we got to go take a break, Jim, in a minute because we don't want an hour, Chris. But Chris, something happened, and I want y'all to come back and share this stuff. Something happened this weekend, and I just want to share it with y'all. And I asked him, I said, could I share it? Get a call from my son. He said, be by your phone. I need to talk to you. I said, okay. So he FaceTimed me and his sister. He said, I want both of y'all to hear this. He said, I'm all right. He said, I got two friends, a white one and a black one. We had a restaurant that we were going to have their party at. But one of the people got COVID, Chris. So they could not, check this out, Chris. They could not have the party at the restaurant. So they have it at the white guy's apartment. They have the party. They're in the party. Black and white in this party. So the white guy whose house it was there, he was DJing too. At 1:30 at night, you know, I think things closed down at 2, whatever. Well, it was a 1:30 at night, he got on the DJ thing and said, if you ain't white, you got to get out of my house or my party. I'm going to repeat this. He said, if you ain't white, Robert didn't hear it. He was doing something. He didn't hear it. But his friends heard it and they were leaving. And he said, whoa, you know, I want to get that. What happened? So they wind up leaving. Check this out, Chris. I want to know how you handle this, Chris. I've never been in a situation like this. So the next day when Robert called me, he said, Dad, my phone is blowing up. This dude who did it, he been calling me, texting me, telling me I want to talk. He said, but I don't want to talk to him. Chris, guys you can travel, go on spring break with, travel on trips together. All of a sudden, hold on now. And I said, Robert, why do you think he said it? He said, maybe, Daddy, it's 3 black dudes walked in the party. He didn't know, but they was for the black dude because it was a black guy and a white. He said, all 3 of those guys went to Yale. All 3 of these black guys went to Yale, but the white boy didn't know him. And he said it was 80%. He said it was 80% white and 20% black in the party. I sit back. He said, Dad, why are you quiet? I said, I'm going to listen to him. I said, let me tell you something. I'm going to let your sister respond first. Guess what the sister responded? He said, me and my dad, my sister told Robert, me and Dad were just 2 days ago praying for you that you have a discerning spirit about the people that you're around. And we did, Chris. She said, we were praying for you because you got a nice place, you make a lot of money, you're sharp, you're nice looking, and all of them other color girls like you. Some of them guys, it ain't going to sit well with them. But this happened I ain't going to lie. And all I did, I talked to him. I ain't going to tell y'all exactly what I said. But it was just a unique moment. He had a Negro wake-up call. Because my son, who went to white schools and went to a white college, and now he up in Wall Street on a white world, he had his Negro wake-up call the other night. And guess what he told me? I'm going to show you how smart he is. He said, Dad, we was in a group text, all the whites and all the blacks. He said, I was trying to see who else agreed with him. I was trying to see what they said and who agreed with. He said, I'm sick. So I called his best friend, one of his friends. I called him and said, you all right? He said, yeah, Mr. Hatter. I'm just trying not to get no felony. He said, I'm trying to keep from getting a felony. So that's what happened, y'all. That's this word. When I saw that, Jimmy, when I saw the hot mic, the freaking, when I saw the hype, I said, son. And he understood. I mean, he was cool about it. My daughter was about, guess what she said? All I'm thinking about right now is which flight I'm finna get on and come to California. To come to New York. That's how she is. But y'all, it's crazy. That's what's going on in this world. And we can sit up here and think we being around these people, Chris, and I'll let you comment, but we're going to go to a break. We'll come back and talk about it if you want to. And I know you in some of that world right now, Chris. You in that world. You went to Villanova. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, can we talk about it after the break?
Talk after the break. We'll be back in just a minute. Hold on, because you wanted to go a little far. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks and Chris Walker today, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world. During the break, Chris, I just threw something out at you, Chris. Chris, in this time and in this climate, I thought I had to share that. Some people, y'all might want to talk, but this is real life, this stuff is going on. So Chris, tell me, what do you think? Just give us some words, because I know you've been in that situation before. What you got going? Not like that, but what's going on?
Well, I would say this is that, hey man, in life we all have a path that we've taken. And when I chose to go to school at Villanova, I wanted something different for my life. Now, I didn't know what that was at the time. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Villanova, you're talking about a university that's probably 95% white. And then working at PWIs for almost 20 years and being in a room and trying to become a head coach around border regents and fundraising arms of people that were predominantly Caucasian, and that's the world. And anybody that works in corporate America, or particularly down in Texas in the energy sector, they know, or the oil business, they know exactly what that world is like, or even in the medical field. I would say this is that there are some things that are disconcerting, that are disappointing, and that make you feel like people just don't get it, right? And there's and I'll say, and the only thing I'll say is that cover both sides. Sometimes we as Black people, when we, and I'm not saying this about Robert, I'll say this about myself. And how do we and Jimmy, we've been in those worlds. We get too comfortable sometimes, thinking that things aren't the way they are to a certain degree. Now, is that a slight against? Because I have tons of white friends that are great people, you know, that I would give my left hand for. I'm just being honest with you. They cooler than a fan, as we would say. But there are some out there you just question. You're like, wow. But you know what? I don't know these people's background. I don't know what they've been taught. I don't know what their interest level is, their education. You got some, and I'm not even making excuses, that come from so much money and stuff, man. I went to school with people that never been in a classroom with a Black person until they got to college. And that's like hard for me to understand. Like, you know, but guess what? If you grow up in a Black neighborhood, you probably never probably been in a classroom with a white person until you got to a certain situation. So there's a lot of in our communities, there's a major split. Think about the way we live, the way we go to church, Hatter. We still live in more back, you know, we still live in Jim Crowish more than we think. And it's not even by force now. So
Jimmy,
those things.
I mean, you're talking about the most segregated a day in America is 12 noon on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
And so what I'm saying is, you know, compassion. Like, again, that guy's trying to apologize, and I've been there. I remember when George Floyd happened, a lot of my ex-teammates were all calling me and saying, man, I didn't know. And it was hard for me to be like, what do you mean you didn't know? You know, but at the same time, man, you know, I'm at a level of my life right now where, you know, to me, it's more important to be compassionate. It's more important to be forgiving. I know that sounds crazy, less Malcolm X-ish in a way where I don't believe, I'm less pro-Black, but I'm more proud, right, than pro, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, man, I can't believe, and I did that through education. And guess what, man? The stronger man is not the man that kicks the person when they down. The stronger man picks the man up, no matter what color he is. And that's why I think it's great to be African-American based on what we've gone through this country, what we have to overcome. You got guys like Jimmy Hicks that had to overcome things, and he's the czar of Houston, Texas. Like, people don't know Jimmy's story. I grew up with Jimmy. They don't understand what that dude is doing. Like, that's a book. That's a documentary. But people don't know that. So they lesson Jimmy to, well, he ranked my kid a certain way. I'm like, yo, do you understand what that man has done and what that man is doing for that city and how he put that city on his back when nobody in the world was even thinking about Houston, Texas? People give Jay Parker a whole lot of credit when I was growing up for what he did for Houston, but Jimmy Hicks has arguably done more for the city of Houston than Jay Parker could have ever done. But people don't know that because all they care about their own little box and selfish interest. So I know I'm being circuitous and roundabout, and I'm not I'm not trying to be political. All I'm saying is that when you get to a certain level in life, you have to be Obama. I'm just telling you, Obama doesn't become president unless he understands that not only do white people matter, Black people matter, Asian people matter, gay people matter, transgender people matter, immigrants matter, rich people matter, poor people matter. You have to learn how to galvanize people.
And you can intellectually whoop somebody's ass. You don't have to physically. You can, but keep going, Chris.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you get to a certain level, when you live in these corporate America,
Chris, explain this to me. Why would the guy, if the guy had nuts enough to say that, kahunas enough to say that, why call somebody back a million times and text somebody a million times trying?
Because somebody had a conversation, and that's what happens. Somebody had a conversation, and you have bias remorse from what your words were from the night before. That morning after, you thought about it. First of all, it was a supreme act of intimidation. Whatever the reason be, based on whatever the pre-existing perceptions that man felt towards the Black or those other guys, that was a way to intimidate. That's one way you can easily intimidate somebody. It's intimidation. Now go back to the morning after. Somebody had a talk. Because guess what? You said he didn't know those other guys. So how did he get the cell phone number?
No.
So,
So the last 3 guys that came in, he didn't know. He knew the rest of the guys. It's 3 guys came in his house that he didn't know. Yeah.
Somebody had to convince him, hey, yo, man,
that
was below the belt. So that means that was his way of trying to implement his own variation of somewhat of a process of atonement. That's on him. That's, guess what? Do you honestly believe that every single sometimes you gotta realize what you signed up for and some people, like Chris just said, you make decisions and there's consequences possibly to every decision you make, even who you be around. That's like, for example, we talk about one extreme side of the spectrum. Well, another streaming side of the spectrum. And I get in a second. But first, this guy, do you honestly believe that every single white person that you consider an ally, not necessarily a friend, but an ally, do you think that all of them were pissed off, unsupportive of every other thing that the previous president was doing? Do you think they were unsupportive or unapologetic or apologetic for the insurrection? Do you think they were unapologetic for all of the? I'm just saying. My point is, when I'm saying that is, come on, wake up. It's possible. You just pay attention now. You watch your surroundings.
He didn't lose no sleep. Let me let you know, he didn't lose no sleep at all, because he told me the exact thing. I said, but Robert, but the guy called you. He said, Dad, the only reason he called because we was on a group text and the other white people was getting on his ass in the group text. He said, that's the only reason.
So I had a conversation. And that's period.
He understand it. He understand it, but guess what? He still had a guy that hangs in those circles all the time. Guess what, Chris? Me and my daughter just prayed about him to have a discerning spirit. And guess what happened, Chris? It was revealed to him at a party around people and they saw it. So it's a great thing. It's just something that I just wanted to share, because I'm watching the climate of this country. We're at a crazy intersection in life that Chris got, gender bias, political bias, everything. We're in a crazy intersection in life that we getting wake up calls, and I just want to share that with y'all.
Let me ask you a question. Hatter.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. So this is what I try to tell people, because I'm looking at Rick's comments. Barack didn't do anything for black people. People say that stuff, and I know Rick. Whatever. Rick is being Rick. People don't understand. Right? In the state of Texas, where most of us live, that's probably on this thread. Do they know how hard it would be for an African American to be the governor of Texas? Did they have any idea? You can be the you can be the mayor of Houston. You could be the mayor of Dallas, but to be the governor of the state of Texas, because there's only, I think, been 5 in the history of the United States. And I'm not talking about the governor of the Virgin Islands. I'm talking about the history. Don't even get me started with the Senate. Don't get me started with the Senate, because you have to win a state race. This dude was the president of the most powerful country in the world, not once, Hatter, but twice. And if he ran again, what would he do, Hatter? Win.
Yeah.
People don't understand. I'm in that circle. There's certain things you can do by being a rebel rouser. There are other things you have to do in a different light, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. You have to be inspirational. And the thing about black folks, and people don't want to hear this, when we first started the Chop Shop guys back in the day, I know y'all remember Morris and those guys we were dealing with back in the day, right? They were giving all this data research, right? Yeah. And this data research yielded that black people were the biggest consumers of social media and television. Remember that, Jimmy? That's what they said. We were the biggest consumers. Yeah. What people don't understand about black folks is that because of the way we were brought to this country and the way we were treated, we only can be what we see. So what I mean by that is when we see somebody being successful because of the way we've been treated, that's who we want to be. So guess what they don't do on TV? You never see. That's why the Cosby Show was so big. You never see black lawyers. That they look at it as like, oh my God, big time dude. You know what you see? Black rappers. So why do you think every kid want to be a rapper? You never see black CEOs of social media. We'll do social media, but you don't see the black Zuckerberg or Robert Smith, because we don't see them people, so we don't want to be them. So guess what they give us? They give us LeBron, and they let LeBron speak on social matters. They give us Kanye West, and they let him speak on politics. They give us Ice Cube, and they let him speak on stimulus. Like, that's what they give us, because we can't digest Michael Eric Dyson. We can't digest Harry, you know what I'm talking about, with the glasses.
Yeah.
We don't see them as successful. So our kids, and everybody got to be honest, just go ask your child. Don't listen to Chris Walker. Go ask your child. And they won't know any of those other people, but they'll know LeBron, because that's what the media feeds us. That's what they feed us. But to say Barack Obama did nothing for black folks, if nothing else, he told us, he gave us the zenith of what we can be. If guess what, how about that? Hold up, like you say, we don't like math. I don't like math, but you want to be rich. I hate what's happening in our city right now, but you don't want to go to school so you can be CEO of a company. So now Governor Abbott can put you as one of his trustees, or put you on as one of the guys on the list, or Governor Abbott can make you a trustee at Texas A&M or Texas, because the governor is the one who decides who the regents are. Yeah. Like, people don't understand how business works. Right. So what they do is they complain. And I keep telling black folks, you get mad at me all you want. Complain, not compete. Stop complaining, compete. Stop complaining, compete. You know what Barack did? He's a man of first. He gonna say, you know what? Y'all can say what y'all want about me. I'm gonna be a man of first. So all them people sitting on the sideline in the peanut gallery, oh man, he ain't do this. So what y'all really don't understand is how the Senate works. Y'all don't understand Mitch McConnell. You don't understand universal health care that every president before him tried to pass and never passed it. You don't understand don't ask, don't tell. That you guys are running around here talking about Bill Clinton was the greatest black president ever, and you don't realize what he did with the crime bill. So what I'm saying is, people don't educate themselves. So that's my point is, Hatter, you got to be careful who you listen to on that screen, so they know we the biggest consumers of television. So if they put the right guy on there, guess what we gonna do? Follow like sheep.
Wow, Chris, we got a guest. You stay on, Chris. We got a guest we about to bring on. But guess what, Chris? I love what you said, because I know I love my black folks enough to tell them the truth. Okay? Chris, it ain't but 5,000 jobs in the music industry. 5,000 jobs in pro sports. 10,000 jobs in entertainment. Not enough black people. That's not enough to save the 48 million black people who need regular skills. So we need some more blue collar people, Jimmy. I mean, and Chris, and that's what people don't understand. All the names you mentioned, they're celebrities. But what about the plumber? He became the most popular thing. The guy doing our blackout, Chris. The plumber became the most popular guy in the world. The electrician became the most popular guy in the world. But we're not doing those jobs. But we're going to bring in Kevin Woods, Chris, and we want you to stay in. We're going to bring in the coach from the what you call it, assistant coach from Duncanville, the state champs. The matter of fact, the 3-time state champs. He gonna explain that to me, because I know at one point they said we're not gonna recognize this one from last year. They said, yeah. We're gonna until we win this one. Then we'll say, okay. But welcome to the show, Coach. Let me put your name down at the bottom so they can know who you are. And then let me give you your claps. They done stole my clap button. But what's up, Coach? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm excellent, man. I'm excellent.
Okay, guys. I'm glad you. Hey, me, Coach, and I did not do a sound check.
I gotta be patient. Y'all had me in the virtual green room. I could have just been watching the show like everybody else.
Yeah, that's how it go. Hey, we had a bigger fish on the line. We had Chris Walker on the show today, so we apologize.
Hey, man, cut that out, man.
Right. What's going on, Jimmy? Jimmy, it's your show. What you got?
I mean, this is coming up to the end of the state tournament, and this in Duncanville High School. this past weekend, Chris did accomplish something that hadn't been done since the installment of the integration in Texas high school sports and basketball. It is Phyllis Wheatley at the time was one of the premier powerhouses in the United States of America. They were keyed by future Olympian Dwight Jones at that time. Wheatley won the state integration. You think about how Texas, just imagine how that was in those 60s. We had just lost within the past 3 years two of our most profound leaders in history. Wheatley won the state championship in 68. They won it in 69. They won it in 1970. Meaning they went to the state tournament and did not lose a game in 3 consecutive trips. Well, Duncanville of 2019, 2020, and now 2021 has went 3 straight state tournament appearances, so to speak, did not lose a game. It's not easy to do, and this was at the highest classification. That's another thing. Put that into that, because Wheatley at the time was in the highest classification. Duncanville is the highest, which is 6A now. I think back then it might have been 4A was the highest. Well, the coach, we have the assistant coach of Duncanville High School, and this is Kevin Woods. Kevin Woods is from H-Town. Kevin Woods, if I'm not mistaken, may have went to this very same middle school as Chris Walker. Maybe. Think. Chris Walker went to the North Forest Independent School District. He went to HISD for high school because he wanted to diversify his portfolio of community relations and go and branch out over
the nowhere that Chris went, but keep going.
What middle school did you go to, Chris Walker?
Kirby.
Nah.
What middle school did you go? Okay. What middle school you went to?
With the Elmo.
You went to Elmo. Okay.
You went to Elmo.
Now, those were arch rivals.
Yeah, for sure.
They were arch rivals.
Wait a minute, middle school arch rivals?
Back then? They were arch rivals.
Yeah. In the hood.
I know you don't think I'm from the hood, Haddle, but I'm from the hood.
Chris, you are the. Let me tell you something. That's why I love you so much, Chris. You polished up real well, sir. You polished that thing up real well. You said I
don't know, man. That might not even be no compliment, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being rough around the edges, man.
No, ain't nobody said nothing about. I put it like this, then.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
He don't look like what he's been through.
You said it like
no. If hey, everybody. Let me tell you something. 95% of you gotta understand. Black folks, most of us came from the hood. we might not live in the hood right now, but go to South Memphis. Go ride through South Memphis. Don't shake your head, Chris. Go ride through South Memphis. North Memphis, then you understand. A lot of people been through the hood. But back to you, Chris Walker. Kevin. Kevin Woods. Man, what does it feel? I think I got some from y'all. Hold up, I think I got a little video of y'all in the dressing room. It didn't pop up. I thought I had it, but I saw y'all in the dressing room. Y'all was in there acting a fool. I know I put it up there. Oh, there it is. It's down. I got Duncanville somewhere. Duncanville. There it is right there. Okay. Let me click on this. These young men, Who picked the song, Coach?
Kevin Woods.
Hey, Kevin Woods. White on cue. right. Coach, you muted yourself, Coach. You muted yourself. Oh Lord, unmute yourself, Coach. But Jimmy, right on cue. McKinley Singers from South Memphis and Memphis, Tennessee. He said he here on the thing. I did not know he was going to be on there. Kevin, maybe you have to go out and come back in. Can you hear me? Go out and come back in. Come back.
Yeah, you can hear us.
Yeah, but he can't. Oh, Jimmy done went out too. Hey, y'all. Boy, my guys, man. Hey, hold up. I'm going to click all of them in. Oh, Jimmy. Coach Woods back. Hold up. Let me get Chris Walker back in there. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. I'm having fun right now. Let me bring him in. Let me bring Chris Walker in. All right. Jimmy in. Then Coach Woods in. Coach Woods, you shoot. What were you going to say about the song, Coach? Tell us about the song.
I didn't pick the song. Now on our first go round, that's what Peavy was dancing to. So the kids was like, somebody find the South Side, and so man, what you just saw though on the video, man, our kids, man, they rock with that dude so hard, man. That he a GOAT. You get 3 in a row in the state of Texas, you go 19-0, man. You a living legend, and being there to just watch it unfold every day. I think, and I'm sure people think it's probably easy because he's smooth, laid back. He make it look easy, man, but it ain't. We sit on the sideline sometimes with our stomach, touching our back. We nervous, but that's, what people.
Yeah, he just muted. He was just muting automatically, Jimmy.
He just
He was just muting automatically. Ain't nothing we can do to save it. He just muting.
Well, one thing we can do. Yeah. Let's go to a quick break, and then we come right back because this is some good conversation. We got Duncanville. You know what? You can feel the energy coming from that team. Celebrating is one thing. Everybody's celebrating, but you can just you watching this team, Duncanville, the way that they celebrate, the way they're embracing, it was, you could see it's something greater than just these are life lasting relationships that's been bonded together from this team. We got Coach Woods coming right back. We got Chris Walker coming back. You guys hang right there. Share the show to your timelines. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, everyone. Tammy Allen here, your relationship coach. Tell me, do you and your partner feel like you're struggling to communicate and have begun living like roommates? No need to worry. I can teach you new, healthy communication skills to improve your relationship. I provide coaching via teleconferencing from the convenience of any location, including your own home. Call me today to schedule your first appointment at 713-597-4499. Or you can find more information at my website, www.allencounselinggroup.com. I look forward to working with you.
Welcome back to the best 120. Jimmy wanted to go on a real break. We'll take another break then. He wanted to go on a real break. Chris, I'm going to give y'all another break. So hold on. I see you back, Jimmy. I'm gonna bring Coach back in. I just wanted to show, because you got people not understanding the show. We got Kevin Woods on the show. So how can we talk about Beaumont United, but we got Kevin Woods on the show right now. But during the break, I played a little Beaumont United for you people who, Coach Green. We're gonna talk about Coach Green too, but we got the illustrious Kevin Woods on the show right now. Coach, finish it, man. Finish, man. Tell us, man, how it feel, Coach. Oh, Coach, get what Jimmy said about you the other day. Hold on, let me tell you what Jimmy said. Jimmy said, any coaching opening come up right now, you should be considered in Houston. You should be considered a candidate for one of them coaching jobs. You're a top assistant. Because hold on, your head coach came on this show and said he don't know what he'll do without. He said he got the best coaching staff in the world. So you have coached and you've been a head coach before. So Jimmy said you should be in the running for some of these coaching jobs. What do you think about that, Doc?
Well, I feel like it's always better to be wanted than unwanted. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now, man, look, Duncanville is a great place. That's all I can tell you. It ain't no better place in the country. For how I ain't making that up. You can call anybody that my homeboys that work in it. It's the best place in the world. So. Right now, if you ask me about a high school coaching job, my price tag probably gonna be too high, and I'm, for me to move, my price tag gonna be too high. We about to put a stranger on the state, and I mean that. Like we gonna make it hard. We gonna make it hard. We gonna make it hard.
I know what you mean. You say put a stranger. How so?
He can't tell you that.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat us. It's gonna be hard.
So now, are you saying, first of all, you're going to be better next year than you were this year?
There's a chance. I mean, we're gonna be good. We got young guys that sit on the bench that'll be starting in a lot of places. We got young guys that don't play, a lot of minutes that'll be starting, probably everywhere except Duncanville. And they gonna grow up. They gonna work. Our off season, we work hard. We push our guys to the extreme. And so for us at the end to get that prize is, because they go through everything. Them ain't fake tears. You see them dudes. Them ain't fake hugs. Because our relationships with them dudes, we put them dudes through the max every single year, every single day. We put our heads down. That's it. And so to come out on top, I don't care what nobody say. It's hard to go undefeated. In the playoffs for 3 years in a row. It's hard.
I mean, and you guys definitely accomplished that. Now, here's the question, though. Mm-hmm. If you didn't play a state tournament in the second trip, then how is that going undefeated at the state tournament 3 years in a row?
It's easy math, Jimmy. Okay, so we were the defending state champ, right? The year before, right? We go 5-0. So those 3 other teams that were there, we didn't even claim the state championship last year.
Right.
But because we haven't lost, that means that everybody else have lost except us. Now, you don't have to put it in no history book, but we were the favorite last year. We wasn't no underdog. And I'm not saying that we would have beat Dickinson. They didn't beat us. But here's the deal. We turned and we didn't play Dickinson. Not to undermine the other 2 teams that was there, but we turned around and came back this year. We went to Waxahachie, played them at their gym. They was the number 1 team in the state. That was the only team that beat us. Played them at their gym for a regional championship. Beat Richardson. Came back, won this year. I'm almost like, how can you deny it?
So really, Jimmy, technically,
if you real, how can you deny that? If you real,
technically, they didn't lose last year. They didn't lose a playoff game last year, so that means they were undefeated. They didn't play one, but they didn't lose one.
No, we played 5. We just didn't play the state tournament.
Oh, the state tournament. Okay, so technically, Jimmy, they are. I like that. Okay, technically, Chris Walker. I know you've been sitting up there. Take your thing off
No.
mute. Take the thing off mute button. Because you didn't never have a chance to be a high school coach. You just, well, you know you had your Chris Walker Academy. You just said, man, I'm skipping all that high school. I'm AU. I remember you talking about, Hatter, look at all these dudes I got. Went straight to college. Without passing go, without collecting $200. And you went straight to college, and that worked for you. How you, Chris, tell me about winning a state championship 3 years in a row. What do you think about that? In Texas?
I mean, I think it's an amazing accomplishment. I know PV pretty well, and obviously I know Woods. And Woods, I'll be honest with you, Woods, I forgot you was even there. So I see why PV is successful, because he got you over there on the bench. But nevertheless, I mean, being from Texas, never having a chance, being a great high school player, never have a chance to even get to Austin, and how hard it is to get to Austin, knowing that they did it 3 years in a row. Ever since Jimmy brought up the PVA, I think it's the PVAL. No coach has done it since then, and I just hope that PV gets his just due. And here's my thing, man, and I've seen this. Let me tell you something. You see the guy at Alabama, Nate Oates. You know what Nate Oates used to be? Nate Oates was a high school coach at Romulus High School.
8 years ago.
8 years ago, and now he's a chance on Alabama has not won the SEC in football and basketball in the same year since 1976. That's what that guy did over there. So I honestly know there's going to be a bevy of jobs that may open in the state of Texas. I'd like to see PV's name mentioned for some college jobs. Why not? Why not? And then let Woods take over at Duncanville. That's how we do things, guys. But we got to promote our guys, and we have to make sure. I see Woods shaking his head.
Don't shake your head, man. Don't shake them blessings off like that. Come on, Chris.
I ain't shaking off no blessings, man. But I'm excellent. You know, right where I am. You know, I feel great. You know, so sometimes people look at it as a step back, man. But you know, I love my job, man, through and through. I love it through and through, man.
No, we're not saying that.
No, we didn't say you didn't.
I know that.
If Peavy get a head coaching job, so you just gonna say, well, I don't want the Duncanville job.
Because I know where we're at right now, and I mess around and be like, yeah. Somebody, oh yeah, he trying to get that job, you know.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to say it. We'll say it. You don't have to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let us say it. You know, and blessings come from. You don't have to put yourself on a pedestal. Me, Hatter, and Jimmy can do that because, man, you deserve it, man. It's deserving. You're not bragging. It's deserving. Right. So I think it's a feather in your cap, and it's something that we should not be ashamed to acknowledge when we see greatness. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not saying it, we're saying it. And I, like I said before, like there's enough talented people out there that look like us that should get more opportunities. And it starts with places like the Chop Shop to acknowledge it, because Stephen A. Smith ain't talking about it. We could talk to Stephen A. Smith and Shannon, whatever. I mean, Shannon Sharp with guys I like and I admire. But in our own little world, we got to help us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. We got to be for us. And we got to point that out to people, things that have never been done. Do you understand that? And especially, and I can talk about the UIL because I can't stand what they do in Texas and the crazy rules that they have. For David Peavy to win 3 straight championships in a row, do you not know if it was somebody else from the other culture, what they'd be saying?
Come on, man.
A statue of him.
Come on, man. That's my whole point. That man, the GOAT, man, right now today, a living legend, man. Right now today.
I'm just keeping it 100. I know what it is down there in Texas.
Here's the thing. That was a few years ago. Flower Mound Marcus made a run to the state tournament 3 consecutive years. They were led by Marcus Smart, plays for the Boston Celtics right now, Phil Forte, were their key anchors of that program. Magnificent 3 run. I think they didn't win 3 years. They won 2, I think, of the 3. They also captured the national championship on the Adidas circuit, playing together as a high school team in Las Vegas, which that was a hell of a feat. I don't think that's ever been done before. A high school team actually won a grassroots national championship from sneaker ball. Well, when the head coach of Flower Mound Marcus, as he was proceeding through that run, he became anointed by his peers in the coaching ranks. it resulted in him getting a college gig. Then he went to Boise State first, and he went about 3 different spots. Chris, you might know that he was in your fraternity. But it came from him, like he had a magic wand and just, you had able to do this. Understand, you had what we see reading the book backwards, you had a pro. You had a pro, Marcus Smart. That don't mean you're going to win the state championship, but understand that helps. Talent helps. The chemistry, the coach definitely guess what? You definitely get credit for being able to mold all that together and keep all of that stuff, all that talent focused. David Peavy had to come in there and coach his son last year and the year before.
Can I chime in? So we talking about David Peavy coming to Duncanville High School, and you can go in a lot of places. Duncanville is not a place where you can lose. So he came to a place where he had to win, and that's all he's done. It's understated, and I mean, even me, I I'm there with him every day, and I get comfortable. But at the end of the day, when you sit back and we won, 3 state championships, and he led us to them, in a row, we don't have no scratches or no blemishes,
So he's only been there for 3 years?
3 years. 3 years. And understand something. Let's go back.
I don't know all of this. I don't keep up with this.
Let's go back to 3 years. Understand. I remember this.
And we started 7-7.
Yeah. And people was like,
then since we started 7-7, I think we lost maybe a total of 6 games. And we ain't really lost that many Texas teams since then.
So getting this job, understand, David Peavy was not well received by a lot of people in Dallas and around Duncanville High School. I say that again. He was not on initial hire well received. It was one of those, he's not from here. He's not part of us. He's not, us mean our culture. That's what, and so I remember this. Why they hiring this guy? And I was explaining to people, and I remember that. And Paul Miranda, you were one of them. Remember that? I'm talking about I had to explain to, not necessarily saying what your stance was, but I had to explain to you, let me tell you something. He's going to bring Kevin Woods with him as assistant coach. Going to be a no-brainer. Kevin Woods, who had also had the experience of being a grassroots coach. Walter Yates, I know you hate grassroots basketball. Show you how this stuff works when you connect these dots. David Peavy is a former grassroots coach in the coaching rank of basketball under the Texas Hard Work.
That
doesn't mean
affiliated. Huh? Yeah, go ahead. He wasn't.
That doesn't mean
affiliated.
Yes, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win a state championship. What it does, it gives you a dynamic. We're talking about you're with a program that has a sneaker affiliation at the highest level of that particular sneaker chain. Right. You were under the Texas Pro, I think, umbrella at the time when they had a sneaker sponsorship. So you're privy to forming relationships and also get to see how other programs work around the country. Mm-hmm. And you can see stuff, how different things, it pick up bits and pieces along the way. And what I'm saying is to say this. You guys got to Duncanville. Explain when you first got there, how was it difficult? What were the barriers you had to overcome to get that? You from Houston, we don't really trust you. You just one of them Houston guys. How did you manage to just totally hurdle that and keep on stepping as an assistant?
It wasn't no, I don't even really know, if I felt either kind of way. You hear stuff, you see stuff. If somebody. What anybody can tell you is this: if they need the gym up there, when we was allowed to let people in the gym, they know they could call up there and we'll let you in the gym. So you can feel something, you know, or say something, but we work with anybody. We help anybody that need help, you know. So nah, but I never, you know, I'm a head down, you know, worker, you know. And again, you gonna hear different stuff. So with things being said, absolutely, you know, but that don't really determine, you know, how hard I work. You know, for those of you that know me, you know, I mean, and I tell people, for me, I was at North Forest where we didn't have nothing. I mean, zero. I mean, in the negative. You come in the negative, you know. And so anything that we had, you know, I had to go get it. You know, the difference at Duncanville is that you got all the resources, you know, every resource you need. And so with the staff that, along with Coach Peavy, we just, from the beginning, we just had guys who was putting their head down working, you know. We hung out with each other, you know what I'm saying? But mainly we hung out with each other at the gym, because by the time we left the gym, it was time to go home. You can ask DFW or any of the programs up there, anything on the south side, if the gym was open, if it was the event, I'm coming in there. You know, PV gonna be in there. You know, we gonna have 5 or 6 coaches in the gym. You know, and so people, like, you know, we just visible. You know, on top of, we win. You know what I'm saying? And so once you do that, you know, once you start winning at our level now, it's, you know, we expect people to just not like us because we win too much. You know, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But we also, you know, for the fans, we got some diehard fans in Duncanville. You know, they loud, they ready to go. So everything for us, you know, is, you know, it's the city of champions, and so it's just they about winning, you know. And so long as we, you know, we doing that, they gonna be happy. We gonna be happy too.
And of course, we just doing in. We got Coach Kevin Woods, assistant coach of the state champion Duncanville Panthers. And this past weekend, Coach, let's get into talk some X's and O's. In the state championship game, of course, you guys faced Austin Westlake. Austin Westlake knocked off Atascocita in the semifinals. This team were, like you guys, had only lost one game all season. Heading into both of y'all, I think, had identical records. No, I think they were 30-1. You were 29-1 at the time. And this Austin Westlake team, Chris, in case you're not familiar with them, they were led by KJ Adams, who's going to Kansas. And we described him last week as a player that kind of came through the ranks, was very highly touted as a 9th grade. He had a body that resembled Finney Underbun, the old A. Taylor star that went over to Arizona and ended up playing football in the NFL. People might not know that about Fendi. He went to basketball scholar. He was ranked #1 in the country by Clark Francis, going into as a 9th grader, and ended up Martellus Bennett kind of stole some of his thunder. They were on the same team together, A. Taylor, and then Fendi, of course, has, you know, developed into a fine young man with a career now, author of a book, at least one book that we know of. We had him on the Chop Shop with his book about 3 years ago. But speaking of KJ Adams, what was the game plan going into? Because Austin Westlake coming out the gate, hey, 1.8, a 1-point game, 11-10 up to the end of the first quarter. At halftime, 23-20. What was going on? Take us into the scout going into this team, because that was a statement that was floating around the gym that said that Duncanville, one of the coaches, this just hearsay, claimed that y'all was going to try to beat them by 30. Okay, we can't hear him. We got We got to click. We got to go out and come back in. Then let me go out and come back in. That's all. That's the way we solve that. Let's go out and come on back in. But anyway, we have Kevin Woods with us. Chris Walker. Hey man, the state high school tournament. What do people around the country? How do they feel like in our state tournament in Texas? Some other states have only one champion. Chris, get your thought before we get Coach Woods back in. What are your thoughts on which one do you favor? That separate them all in divisions, or make one true state champion, as some other states do?
I think it would be cool if once all the champions are established, then have a tournament of champions. I mean, obviously Duncan would beat the brakes off all of them, but it would be nice. You're talking about a Cinderella moment. That would be super cool if they created that. But I'm telling you, man, UIL, man, I have no faith in anything that those people do. I don't work for Texas, anything in Texas, so I don't care. I think they have antiquated rules, and I just think it's a shame the way they operate. It's still a football state. And even though we got tons of basketball centric stuff going on there, like there's so many things they need a shot clock. Woods may not agree. They should have a shot clock, and look at them. They already looking at it. I think they should have a shot clock. I don't know if you agree or not, but they should have a
Yeah.
shot clock, make the game more modern. And obviously, a shot clock would still favor the better teams. I don't know how people, because they don't. The reason why they don't have a shot clock because it helps the team that's the
But
lesser team because they'll hold the
what the
ball.
shot clock does though is it really gives you more of a chance when there's a lead. Like if you down by a lot of points,
Because
you
you got
have
to shoot.
because they gotta shoot, And
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm in favor of the shot clock, man.
But
I'm in
obviously,
favor.
it's a financial thing. You got to have more people work, but they figure it.
Yeah,
They figure everything else out. They can figure
they
that
can
out too, man.
they can get a shot clock.
Because there's got to be a clock person that handles at the football games, right? Isn't there
Yeah,
what they call it? Yeah, there's a person that what they call it before they hike the ball. They got somebody that counts that
for
clock
them
now.
to
So there's ways of doing it, man.
But
It's
that's
just
football.
there you
yeah.
go. It's a football
We're not
state. I'm
talking
telling
no
you.
football, man. We ain't talking zero that. Zero that. What was the original question? The scout. The scout.
Mhm.
I think well, first I think people, one thing about our staff, from people, we don't take games for granted. Now there's games we know, okay, we should handle them, but we there's not many games we skip over. We break people down. It's crazy to me that people probably think we just roll the ball. You don't win, the level we went by just rolling the balls. Our kids, they know the scouting report. They understand the scouting reports most of the time. We defend at a high level because most of the time our kids know what you're going to do, and that's not to say that we don't have good players. We have great players, but all it takes is one game, 16 beat a 1, 15 beat 2s. So you can't go into a game unprepared, or you going at some point it's gonna bite you in the ass. But anyway, for us the goal was really to try to speed the game up, get into it for KJ, just try to smother him and use our speed and athleticism on him. He scored 20, but he didn't shoot the ball very well. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to Kansas. So we know he's a good player. But everything for us was about trying to get in transition, maybe, trying to turn them over and speed them up and then wear them down. For them, it was about getting back, clogging up the paint. And then they took a couple of guys away, which was why one guy was really able to explode, and typically we don't have a guy that scores, 30 points in the game. We have really a balanced, about five or six guys are going to be in double figures most nights for us, and so now if you do take one away, people fail to realize that a lot of people like, man, that kid better than I thought he was. He can do that on a lot of nights, but they sacrifice, especially our leaders, our seniors, they sacrifice a lot of themselves. Them dudes are 25-point guys. They can score 20 to 25 points a night easy,
And Chris, Alan.
I'm just
Well,
listening.
let's keep on rooting. Now, this game, of course, I was looking. Zurich Phelps, MVP, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 11 for 17 from the field in this state championship game. He signed with SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Take us through what was his mindset going into the game in the locker room and in the approach?
Don't lose. At the end of the day, we our kids, they go through different stuff. Last year, I'll take you back. Last year, that kid set out 16 games, because of eligibility. Came to practice every single day, cheered for his team, was on the bench at every single game, cheering for his team, getting yelled at, getting cussed out at practice every single day and not playing. So, for him, he gave up everything to make sure the team got better, and we fast forward going through days of ups and downs and, you know, coming in there dealing with us, it's hard in there with us, you know. It's hard, you know. And for us, you know, again, that what they accomplished Saturday is on the other side of that hard. But, you know, to see him go through ups and downs and just he really peaked at the right time this year, which was about the second round of playoffs, and just decided that, you know, he wasn't gonna lose, you know, and we had a few guys over there that just decide like we not losing tonight, you know, and Coach Peavy does a great job of like, man, these dudes in our way. You know, at the end of the day, players gotta go make plays. You know what I'm saying? We done coached you up, we done gamed you up. When it get down to the thick, now it's just who wanted the most, you know, and we remind them of everything that they went through for the last, you know, 9 months of, you know, having to turn that bus around at the pandemic, the seniors the year before who didn't get the chance to play for a ring, but you know they gave everything they had for you. You know what I'm saying? So when it came back down to it, we remind them of everything, you know. So now you got something to play for, and that's just what you saw, you know, in him, you know.
And Coach, now speaking of Coach Peavy, we talked about him a little bit a while ago, and we didn't necessarily get his philosophy. You also, this isn't your first time with Coach Peavy, right?
Mm-mm.
And you were with him before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And explain to him. So a lot of people may not know that this Duncanville was at Duncanville High School was more so of a reunion for you guys, because
so what people have to understand, you know, and I will get it, you know, so I'll lead up to it. I met Dave got the job at Decaney. And you know, I was going through something, you know, and really, you know, when
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do me a favor, Jimmy, do me a favor. Please, are we gonna bring a coach from Beaumont United on tomorrow? Have you hooked that up already? Huh?
Somebody, what you get? What's
I just can feel that's coming on. I you know, I got my spider senses going on right now. But keep going.
Yeah,
Coach,
we have a coach
let Coach get his talk. Yeah.
Every day this week. We have a state champion. We have the opportunity to be on the chop shop.
Okay.
In case you guys wonder.
Okay. All right.
And for the most, just to give you, if you know me, then you should know that's how I move.
Some of them don't know you though. Then Jimmy, we got people, contributors on the show. They don't know how you move yet. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn today. You know what the lady said. You're gonna learn today. But but it's so okay, man. So you was explaining something.
Yeah, about how you met Coach Peavy. I mean, and you.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you went to.
We were when he got the job at Decaney, he gave me he hired me, you know, and we had a great year. But after that 1 year, I got the head coaching job at North Forest. You know, we remained in contact. I was, you know, and basically we built, you know, that was my big brother, you know, from then on out. You know what I'm saying? And so then I got the job at Summer Creek, you know, and I got fired from Summer Creek. You know, my last job I got fired, you know. And so for me, man, you know, man, God can do that. That let me know God can do anything. I got fired from my last job as a head coach to turn around and win, you know, 3 state championships in a row. You know, that's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for me, it's everything. So I got a dude that he gave me another chance when I got fired. You know, and thank God I was all the way bought in. You know, from the jump, I wasn't looking at no other jobs. I was like, Duncanville, I'm gonna take this chance. You know, that to me that was like going to Kentucky or something. You know, and so it was a no brainer. So, and it's been beautiful ever since.
Well, that's a great thing, man. Once again, congratulations in order, man. Thanks a bunch, Coach Kevin Woods. You guys, much success. We'll be looking now because next year, Duncanville is going to probably be a favorite to return to the state championship and to compete for a four-peat, as you just saying, four in the floor. But also, we have a message from one of the people at one of the supporters from Dickinson High School, and they are feeling some kind of way because they saying, wait a minute, pump your brakes. Because
I'm already
we
knowing.
would have beat
You supposed to
you
feel
guys.
that way. But you had all the opportunity in the world to defend that. You know, you had. I'm saying how we feel. They can feel however. I'm saying how we feel. I know we won on the front end and the back end. You know,
But you
and we
know
didn't
what?
lose nowhere in between. We didn't lose nowhere in
Sometimes,
between.
sometimes, in life we all play Monday
Tell me
morning
when I
quarterback.
lied.
We all no, it's not it's just an opinion. It's not a lie, not. But we all play Monday morning quarterback to some things. And a year ago, that conversation, Duncanville was indeed the favorite going into the state tournament. And then Houston, the way that it was somewhat of the chemistry that had formed between Tremont Mark and Marcus Williams kind of made the conversation.
I love them both to death.
And now we look.
That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog.
Yeah, and now we look at what they did in college this past season. Not one, but both of them are tabbed as among the freshman players of the year in the first freshman in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Williams has, at one point, I think he led the team in scoring at Wyoming.
Okay.
And we're looking back now and say, wait a minute, unless you really believe that both Tremont Mark and Marcus Williams got that much better in 1 year, it's possible. And that's why I want to ask you, Chris Walker, what your think on in the college ranks. Is it if for two players going different direction, can they really get that much better in 1 year as they're going at freshmen in the programs that they're thrust into, and or not? Or were they probably that good all the while?
I mean, they can definitely get better. It just depends on, their work ethic and the time they put into it. And it also depends on, the role that they fall into when they get to college. Sometimes you make the wrong choices, man, and you don't get that opportunity. It stunts your growth, and a lot of other things happen. So it just depends on the choice that you make. Tremont Mark made a great choice for himself, and even though they got Quentin Grimes and they got an unbelievable team, they got a chance to get to the Final Four. Kevin Sampson embraced him because think about it. For that particular situation, which I know a little bit better than the other, is that they need to embrace kids from Houston. So the fact that Quentin Grimes, who was one of the best players in the Houston McDonald's All-American, go there and successful, and now you had a kid like Fabian White goes there and successful, Tremont Mark, that helps them in the city of Houston to continue to get kids to come there, and then no doubt maybe Big 12 kids to transfer back there because Kevin Sampson, he old school, he an old school coach. He ain't like these new schools do. He don't care. Right? You're not imposing your will on his program. I don't care if you're an AAU coach or whatever. He gonna do it the good old fashioned way. And guess what? It's working. I remember, Jimmy, you could hear a pin drop in the Fertitta Center. I used to do games at CBS I used to tell CBS, why are we doing games here? This is embarrassing. And now you can't get a ticket in that place. So he built that place, and kids are not seeing that. But here's one thing for sure. If you're gonna go to the University of Houston, you better be ready to work or you're not playing there.
You're gonna be a man when you walk out of there. You're gonna be a man when you walk out of U of H. That's not to take nothing away from Tremont or Marcus. I love both of them to death. But they supposed to feel like they gonna win. We think we gonna try to beat everybody by 30. But man, again, we haven't lost. You know what I'm saying? So man, Dickinson, Jason, that's my homeboy. He gonna talk noise to me. We haven't lost. He lost. I'm sorry that happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else that was them 4 teams had a chance, they should have made it back. We could have settled it this year. They didn't.
And indeed, they definitely didn't, of course. And congrats to all the man, Duncanville High School and the Panthers. And one last thing I want to mention that you want to cap on that you and Chris Walker just alluded to, and that is University of Houston. David Peavy, his son Michael Peavy, he's at Texas Tech right now. but University of Houston was one of his final schools. How serious were they about going there, and how close, or did U of H actually have a chance of getting that done?
Yeah, I actually don't remember exactly what transpired. I think Texas Tech was kind of the favorite for him. You know what I'm saying at some point, but I don't think it was. I mean, we all still cool, so it wasn't no big deal or nothing.
And so next, college coaching. Do you see yourself getting into the college coaching ranks?
Nah, man, I don't want to do that.
No, okay. And
Why?
what's
Why?
next? What's next for Kevin
Jim.
Wood?
Hold up, Jim.
Man,
Why?
man, look, that's a hard job, and I may not, I don't want to do that. I know that. I don't want to be no college coach, and I hate to say that on a show like this here, but
No.
I'm dead serious.
It's okay.
I don't want to be a college, not in a college assistant coach. I don't want to be one.
It's a hard life. It's a hard, dark life.
I don't, man. People look in terms of dollars. I look in terms of happiness. And every day I wake up excited to go see the people I see at work. The kids that I work with. And again, like I said, I work for a GOAT. And that ain't just, that's, that don't mean we don't go through it. Because we do. But at the end of the day, I got the greatest assistant job in the country. And I mean that, and you can't put no dollar, on happiness, man,
Yeah, man. Hey, Coach Woods, man, we definitely appreciate it, man. It's that time, man. Great combo with you, man. Duncanville, the Panthers defeated Austin Westlake 66-53. It was indeed a much closer game than the final score, but fact still remains. Guess what? It is a state title and another ring for Duncanville. Last time you were down there 2 years ago and won, you had your wristband on, didn't take it off for about 3 months. And I was looking, I see something green on your wrist. Is that the damn wristband from the state tournament?
That's the one. That's the one, man. It'll be on, until it fall off. You know what I'm saying? This just, for me, I don't take none of this stuff for granted, man. We cause we work. The kids gonna think we forgot about it when we hit the floor, but man, we work, but I really don't take it for granted, and this don't last forever. So, while it's here, I'm enjoy it. I'm enjoy it.
Man, well, that's it, man. We got to run. It's almost time to land this plane.
This really ought to get me anywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? Walk, when I come to the next game and you see me at the gate flashing this here, you just put your little mic down, tell him he good. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Kevin, why they call you Uncle Kevin at Duncanville?
Do they? I don't know. Don't nobody call me that.
Well, Herb Baker told that one. Okay.
Man, Herb Baker said a lot of stuff, man.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you later, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. That's Kevinville, guys. Shout out to DFW. Definitely give them their moment. And that's one of the things we talked about earlier about getting behind and providing a platform for hot assistant coaches who's in the position, like I said, and I say it again, any job that comes open in high school basketball that has a fertile talent, that's fertile for producing talent driven into their program, they are making an ill mistake if they don't at least seek out and call this guy Kevin Woods. Now the thing is, if you guys live in DFW and you want Duncanville to kind of take some of the sail out of their wings or some of the air up under their sail, guess what? You need to find a way to help Kevin Woods get a coaching job to get him up out of there. That's what y'all need to find to do. That's the only way. That's the only way. As you see, and you win, more people are going to want to come. And that's what happens when you're winning. It becomes sexy. Not only is this school has the most gymnasiums of any school in the state of Texas, 7 gyms, Chris, if you didn't know that, at Duncanville, 7 courts. It's a lot of basketball, a lot of balls to be bounced around that campus, and it is indeed a campus. And so, but anyway, man, Chris, you can got it. We had so much left leave on the table. It's time to land this
Chris, we got to
plane.
bring you. Chris, you got to find time, man, because I didn't know.
No, Chris got to come on back tomorrow because you know knows on tomorrow. On tomorrow is a conversation that Chris Walker must be a part of, and we have the Gary Charles joining us on tomorrow to talk college basketball, talk about college coaching. The guy's eyes lit up. You got to come back tomorrow, and for that right there, that's going to be a hell of a combo.
Well, before Gary get on, I got to make sure I talk about Beaumont United, y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all 409. I'm gonna talk about y'all because I saw some stuff that I'm just proud of y'all, man. I'm serious. I didn't know y'all was that good, and I'll be the guy. I don't follow basketball as much. I'm not a high school basketball guru. I didn't follow y'all, and I saw y'all go undefeated, 31-0, and win a championship also. So let me tell you something, man. Shout out to those guys out there, Jimmy, Chris. I don't know if you know, they had one kid, Terrence Oxenow. I got to mention his name. He hit the shot to tie them to send them in overtime.
A buzzer beating 3-point.
The buzzer beater to send them in overtime, and the buzzer beater 3 to win it, and ran off the floor with his hand in the air. Chris,
he waved bye-bye to him.
And waved bye-bye to the people, whatever he did. I didn't see all that. But Chris.
Yeah, man, do y'all know that was the anniversary of Kimball getting beat 30 years ago by the same buzzer shot when Snoop Johnson was a player? So a lot of the Kimball players was at the game because that was the anniversary of them losing that game that they lost at the buzzer, and they lost at the buzzer again.
They got their ass tore off again at the buzzer. See, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris, clear your time tomorrow, man, so you come back. I'd love to hear you. I'd love to sit back and hear you and Gary Charles just talk. And I'm going to have my notepad.
I'll go hour number 1. I'll be with him hour number 1, and I got to head to the studio after that.
Okay. All right, my man.
All right, guys.
Okay,
all right, guys, it's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. See you in 22 hours. Make sure you share the show if you hadn't done so already. Chop shop. Peace. We up out of here.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro, let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop.